My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, General of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true Emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. When you're favored by God, you're also favored by the devil, because light attracts darkness, power attracts resistance. So understand this: if greatness is calling you, so is war. You don't get to rise without being tested. Sometimes, the test doesn't look like a battlefield. It looks like loneliness. It feels like doubt. It sounds like silence when you're screaming for help and nobody answers. But listen to me. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are being forged. The world is not trying to destroy you. It's trying to reveal you. And the only way out is through. This isn't just a speech. This is an awakening. If you're watching this, you are meant to hear it. So grab a pen, grab a notebook, because you're not here to be entertained. You're here to be reborn. This is the Gladiator Mindset. Unforgiving, unapologetic, unstoppable. These are the lessons carved in blood, etched into the bones of warriors, not made for the weak, made for those who refuse to die ordinary. Let's begin. You can't conquer the world until you conquer yourself. Look in the mirror, don't flinch. Don't look away, because that man staring back at you, he's your only real opponent. Not your boss, not your enemies, not society. You. He knows your fears, your addictions, your laziness. He knows the truth, even when you lie to everyone else. And every time you hit snooze, every time you quit, every time you scroll when you should suffer, he wins. So face him and vow this: from this day forward, I kneel to no weakness. Discipline is the only goddamn path. Motivation is a ghost. It vanishes when life gets hard. Discipline stays. Do it when you're tired, when you're broken, when no one is clapping, when you're bleeding and nothing makes sense anymore. Do it because it must be done. That's what separates the men from the sheep. That's what builds legends, not one day of glory, but thousands of days of silence, sweat, and suffering. Train, read, sacrifice, repeat. Without emotion, without applause, without mercy. Every dream you chase has a blood price. You want the throne, then carry the cross. Pain isn't the enemy, comfort is. Because comfort kills warriors in their sleep, makes them soft, makes them blind. You think gladiators were chasing luxury? They were chasing survival. Every scar was a medal. Every broken bone was a lesson. Every loss was an offering to the gods. So bleed for it, fight for it, die for it if you must. Because only the man willing to die for it will ever truly live for it. No one's coming. No father figure, no mentor, no miracle. You either become the savior, or you remain the slave. Harsh. Good. You need to hear it raw. You are where you are, because of you. No more blame. No more stories. Own it. All of it. And then build from the ashes. Because the moment you accept no one's coming, you become unstoppable. You are not soft. You are not broken. You are not a victim. You are forged in suffering, hardened by loss, sharpened by rejection. You are a man reborn in fire. This world will not hand you peace. You must take it. So rise, train, conquer, repeat. Carve your name into history, or be forgotten. This is the Gladiator Mindset. And now, it's yours. You don't get to rise without being tested. The higher you climb, the more brutal the trial. The more you want, the more you'll bleed to earn it. Every man wants to be gladiators of old were born hardened, number. They were broken down to their knees and rose in fire, forged by pain. This world doesn't owe you peace. It owes you nothing. And if you think sitting and wishing will build your empire, you've already lost. Gladiators didn't beg for mercy. They made war look like art, because every moment in the arena could be your last. And they knew that. They lived like that, and that made them dangerous. Now listen, take out a pen, take out paper, because I'm about to give you something most men are too soft to hear. This isn't entertainment. This is instruction. This is your battle cry. You either write these down and let them tattoo your mind, or you stay soft and stay forgotten. Write this. You are not owed discipline. You build it. No one wakes up with a warrior's mind. You chisel it. You sharpen it like a blade against doubt, distraction, and comfort. Write this. Comfort is a drug. Withdrawal is brutal. Staying addicted is a slow death. The enemy is the voice in your head saying, it's okay to rest. Rest is earned, not gifted. Write this. No one is coming to save you. You are the one. You are the sword and the shield. You are the storm and the silence. You rise or you rot. You want the gladiator mindset? Then accept this. Every man you admire has walked through hell, and some are still walking. But they don't cry about the heat. They become the flame. The world is full of kings who never claimed their crown, because they listened to weakness. They bowed to fear. They flinched before the strike. A real man sharpens himself daily. He doesn't wait for motivation. He builds routines like armor, wakes up early, trains when he's tired, says no when it's easier to say yes. That's a gladiator. You want to feel like one? And suffer like one. Push your limits until they collapse. Bleed for your own progress. Refuse softness like a disease. Look in the mirror right now. That man looking back, he's either a weapon or a warning. Which one are you? You say you want to change, then change. There's no blueprint, just discipline and execution. Write this down. Self-respect is built in the shadows. No one sees the 4 a.m. alarms. No one sees the sweat and silence. No one praises the sacrifice, but you'll feel it. You'll carry that pride in your bones, unshakable. Now listen. Every warrior was once broken. Every lion was once a cub. Every gladiator had to be molded in fire. But what separates them from the rest? They didn't stay down. They refused to be average. Average is easy. It's warm. It's full of excuses and soft words. But average is where dreams go to die. Write this. You are either chasing greatness or you're running from yourself. There's no middle ground. You want purpose? Earn it. You want strength? Suffer for it. You want respect? Be ruthless with your habits. Be loyal to your discipline. And be savage with your time. Time, the only thing you'll never get back. You waste it, you die poor. Not just in money, but in meaning. Gladiators didn't waste time. They trained every day like death was watching, because it was. You have that same clock ticking right now. So what are you doing with it? Do not seek comfort. Seek conquest. Wake up with purpose. Sleep with pride. And in between, make every second a declaration of your intent. Be unbreakable. Be undeniable. Be unforgettable. The world doesn't need another soft-spoken, half-driven man. It needs warriors. It needs gladiators. Men who don't flinch. Men who fight. Men who rise. And if you're hearing this right now, you were never meant to be average. You were meant to be brutal. You were meant to be disciplined. You were meant to be feared by your former self. Become that. You want a better life? Then understand this. Your excuses are your prison. Your comfort is your curse and your doubt. That's the silent assassin that's been killing your potential in the dark while you sleep. You don't need more motivation. You need war. A war against weakness, against laziness, against the voice in your head that says, maybe tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Only now. Only battle. You think gladiators waited for the right moment? Number. They bled in silence. They trained while others slept. They embraced pain like it was their brother, because pain meant they were still alive. You think someone's coming to save you? No one's coming. There is no cavalry, only the mirror. Only you, and what you're willing to suffer for. You want a legacy? Then bleed for it. Sacrifice for it. Watch your friends drift away. Watch comfort turn its back on you. Watch the world label you obsessed. Good. Let them. Because while they're laughing, you're sharpening your sword. Every moment you waste, someone else is grinding. And one day, you'll meet them in the arena. They won't care how tired you were. They won't care about your past. They'll swing harder, move faster, because they didn't wait. They didn't beg for fairness. It became undeniable. This world doesn't reward the nice. It rewards the disciplined, the dangerous. The ones who train in the dark for a life most will never understand. So stop looking for balance. Gladiators don't balance. They dominate. You've got one life, one chance to leave something behind worth remembering. Not for applause, but for honor. For the soul that refuses to kneel. For the fire that never dies. So get up, tighten your grip, clench your jaw, and walk into the storm. Not because it's safe, but because you were forged for it. This is the Gladiator Mindset. This is war, and you were born for it. So hold the line, stand tall, let your enemies see your eyes and know you didn't come to play their game. You came to end it. Because warriors don't hope, they decide. They rise with cracked bones and clenched fists. They bury fear beneath their footsteps. And when the dust clears, only one truth remains. You either conquer or you're conquered. There is no in-between. So remember this the next time life hits back. You weren't made to bend. You were made to break limits. This is your time. This is your legacy. This is your gladiator mindset. And when it's all said and done, when the dust settles and the noise fades, there'll be no applause, no trophies, just the silence of a man who did what had to be done. Not for fame, not for validation, but because something deep in his soul refused to be average, refused to live on his knees. This world will try to tame you, but a true gladiator cannot be tamed. He walks through fire, not to burn, but to blaze. He carves his name into time with blood, grit, and relentless discipline. So remember this. When you're doubting, when you're tired, when you're alone, that's the moment. That's the test. That's when you decide if you're just a man or something more. You weren't made to follow. You were built to conquer. This is your time. This is your arena. And you?